Good day, folks. Everything new under the sun. So the 9th of Av, it came and went, and nothing particularly happened. Now, I find this interesting. I think Iran very likely was looking to do something. They were probably timing it. There was significance there. But they have apparently backed down now. Iranian officials say Iran may not attack if ceasefire is reached. Three Iranian officials tell Reuters Iran may delay or even call off its planned attack against Israel if this week's talks on ceasefire between Israel and Hamas are successful. Now, I think they got scared, and we're gonna talk about why. But I think they backed off. They knew it was going to be significantly escalatory. They knew that Israel, if they give Israel the option to strike back, Israel will take that. And the Arabs, one thing they understand is strength. And if you come back at them with strength, they will respect you. If you come back with weakness and say, "Oh, please, let's talk, let's have peace, let's make a deal," they don't respect that. They will take. You give them an inch, they will take a mile. And J.D. Farag actually says that himself. He's an Arab, born in Lebanon, and he says that himself. The Arabs as a culture, they respect strength. They do not respect weakness or giving in or attempting to come to the peace table and make agreements, right? And this is why Israel can't make deals very well with Gaza, with Hamas. So Iran seems to be backing off because they know they're going to get hit absolutely hard. But there could be another reason. It could be that Israel did something to them to cause them to back off. This is IsraelNationalNews.com. Joint statement from 5 nations call on Iran to stand down from threats against Israel. So this could be the reason, NATO or at least these 5 nations came and showed a lot of strength for the Iranian leadership, and they decided, you know what, we're not going to go up against Israel if these countries are backing them. Remember, there will come a day when all nations will come against Israel, and Israel will have no option left. The IDF will not be able to save them in that day, but they will call upon God, and God will save them during that time. But here's what's interesting. During or around this time, there have been massive cyber attacks going on. Massive cyber attack rocks Central Bank of Iran computer system paralyzed. According to reports, all the computer systems at the banks in Iran were paralyzed following the cyber attack. Now, if there was a cyber attack on a bank, it's very likely Israel. The Arab neighbors aren't going to try and hit Iran. Who else is interested in doing something against Iran? Maybe the U.S. Supporting Israel, but probably not. This is very likely Israel. But the thing is, this is what we know about. Likely, the same people who did the cyber attack also did a significant cyber attack on Iran's military. So I think this is kind of the mainstream media news of the cyber attack. I think the back-end attack, cyber attack that occurred, probably limited Iran's ability to respond to Israel. And that's why they came out saving face, trying to save face, and say, you know what, we're going to hold off and see if we can come to an agreement. Because probably Mossad, Israel, IDF, covert agents went in there and did some significant damage, not just this hack of the bank, but also took out maybe communications, maybe systems that they were going to use to do a strike on Israel. And so that's the stuff you're not going to hear about. Of course, Russia, Ukraine, Iran, it doesn't matter. If you do something significant, the countries aren't going to admit to, you did something real bad to our military. They're going to admit to a little lighter things like the bank cyber attack and that sort of thing. So this is, to me, evidence of something larger that's happened, and Iran has backed off because of it. Maybe they were unable to. I suggest that they were unable to do a counter-strike because the cyber attacks were so massive. Or it could be that they just simply delayed them, but I kind of think they would have wanted to go against them. Now, the latest thing that's happening, of course, is Pandemic 2.0, of course, Mpox, and you know why they call it Mpox, not monkeypox, because it's racist to call it monkeypox, right? So they're being politically correct. Even though people aren't monkeys, they deem it a racist term to say monkeypox. So they're calling it Mpox. They're declaring a worldwide health emergency out of this. 14,000 cases have come about in Africa, and they're calling a public health emergency. So look for lockdowns, look for travel restrictions. If the governments can, they will absolutely take control. They will. That's all they know how to do, is to lock you down and do everything that doesn't work. But because they need to make the public feel that the government is useful and doing something. That's why they give you masks. That's why they tell you to socially distance, so that you as a citizen can feel good about yourself, saying, I'm doing my part. I'm wearing a mask. I'm socially distancing. The government is giving you basically a way to twiddle your thumbs in a way that, again, makes you feel like you're helping, you're participating. Because if the public doesn't have anything to do, they feel useless. They feel worthless. They want to be in the fight, quote unquote. They want to be in the war. And many people said, we're at war. My father even said, this pandemic, this is a war. We are at war with this thing, and that's how many people felt about this. And they wanted something to do, and so the government gave them something to do. Here, this is basically basket weaving, but go do it. Make yourself busy with this, and we'll tell you that you're doing a good job and that you're helping out for the greater good, for the cause, right? But it's just busy work, really. The masking, social distancing, the amount of effect it did is pretty much nil. Doctors knew that forever about masks. But again, they did it to give citizens something to do. And the majority of people took that action and said, I'm doing my part. And they were religious about it. If you were against masks, boy, they would come down on you with all vitriol and hatred and calling you names and calling you disgusting and saying that you should be, if you get sick, you shouldn't be helped by the hospitals. It was incredible. And that's because they believed they were part of the war, the quote unquote war against, whatever the illness is. And is this the next one? I don't know. I think they've kind of run out of runway on the pandemic thing. I think the next thing coming is basically war and economic collapse. If you follow the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, I think this is what ultimately is going to come out of this. I don't know that they're going to get to another full-scale one of these, but very possibly there could be another one where, again, they force a lockdown. So anyways, I'll leave it there. That's my news for the day. I think it's interesting that Iran didn't strike. I think it's very interesting that massive cyber attacks happened, and all of a sudden it seems like Iran is interested in coming to the table again. Remember, they respond to strength, not weakness. So and that's why Israel's being strong, and the rest of the world is saying peace, peace. Try and make peace with them, but they don't respect peace. They don't respect, coming to the table and talking to them. The only thing they respect, as a culture, is a strong hand, strength, and not showing that you're weak. They don't respect weakness by any stretch, and that's what they think the West is. They think the West is weak when the West tries to negotiate. So, thanks for watching. I'll leave it there. We'll see you in the next video.